Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar, and with me is Saira Mujtaba with the Midday News. The headlines. Rajya Sabha bids farewell to 72 retiring members. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges members to use their experience in the interest of the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with students, teachers and parents in the 5th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha program tomorrow in New Delhi. More than 10 lakh registered electric vehicles in India as of March 13th this year, informs Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari in Lok Sabha. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to hold discussion with his UK counterpart Elizabeth Truss on bilateral, regional and global issues of mutual interest this evening. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov to arrive in New Delhi on a 2-day visit to India this evening. Ayush Ministry invites nominations for Prime Minister's Yoga Awards 2022. Indian paddlers Manika Batra and Archana Kamath settle for bronze medal in women's doubles at WTT Star Contender in Doha. And in IPL cricket, Chennai Super Kings to take on Lucknow Super Giants at Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai this evening. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that experience plays a vital role in solving complex problems. He was speaking at the farewell of 72 Rajya Sabha members today who are going to retire between April to July of this year after completing their terms. Recalling the vast experience of the retiring members, Mr. Modi said,
अनुभव का संपुट हमारे इन सभी महानुभावों के पास है और कभी कभी ज्ञान से ज्यादा अनुभव की ताकत होती है। अनुभव से जो प्राप्त हुआ होता है उसमें समस्याओं के समाधान के लिए सरल उपाय होते हैं। ऐसे अनुभवी साथी सदन से जाते हैं तो बहुत बड़ी कमी सदन को होती है, राष्ट्र को होती है। जो अनुभव की गाथा यहाँ छोड़ के गए हैं, जो बाकी यहाँ रहने वाले हैं, उनको उसको आगे बढ़ाना होता है। और मुझे विश्वास है कि आप जो साथी आज विदाई लेने वाले हैं, उनसे हम जो सभी सीखे हैं, आज हम भी संकल्प करें उसमें से जो भी उत्तम है, जो श्रेष्ठ है, उसको हम आगे बढ़ाने में इस सदन की पवित्र जगह का जरूर हम उपयोग करेंगे।
He urged the members to use this experience in the interest of the country and write down their experiences gathered in the House, which will further help the upcoming generations. The Prime Minister said as the nation is celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, it is the responsibility of everyone to contribute toward the nation.
ये आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव, आजादी के 75 साल हमारे महापुरुषों ने देश के लिए बहुत कुछ दिया। अब देने की जिम्मेवारी हमारी है। हम यहाँ से उस भाव को लेकर के, क्योंकि अब थोड़ा समय ज्यादा होगा हमारे पास, जब यहाँ से जा रहे हैं तो सभापति जी का बंधन भी नहीं होगा। आप बड़े खुले मन से एक बड़े मंच पर जाकर के आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव इस महामूल्य पर्व को माध्यम बनाकर आने वाली पीढ़ियों को कैसे प्रेरित कर सकते हैं, उसमें अगर आपका योगदान रहेगा, मैं समझता हूं देश को बहुत बड़ी ताकत मिलेगी, बहुत बड़ा लाभ मिलेगा।
Appreciating the experiences and contribution of the retiring members, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu said these 72 members constitute a vast pool of considerable legislative experience, domain knowledge and parliamentary skills. He added, 4 ministers, Nirmala Sitharaman, Piyush Goyal, Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi and Ramchandra Prasad are completing their tenures during this period. He urged the legislators to be propelled by passion, performance and procedural integrity and desist from disrupting the law-making bodies and uphold the honour and privilege bestowed on them by the people. The chairman voiced concern that this House has lost over 35% of the functional time due to disruptions since 2017. The 72 retiring members include A.K. Antony, Ambika Soni, P. Chidambaram, Anand Sharma, Jairam Ramesh, Suresh Prabhu, Prafulla Patel, Dr. Subramanian Swamy, Prasanna Acharya, Sanjay Raut, Naresh Gujral, Satish Chandra Mishra, M.C. Mary Com, Swapan Das Gupta, Dr. Narendra Jadhav. 65 retiring members represented 19 states, while 7 are nominated members. Leader of Opposition in the Rajya Sabha and Congress MP, Mallikarjun Kharge said the upper house is the chamber of ideas. Lauding the contribution of the retiring Congress MPs, he said politicians never retire and they keep serving the nation. Deputy Chairman Harivansh said the experience of the retiring members will continue to inspire the coming generations. He recalled the contribution of several MPs during his speech. Tiruchi Shiva of DMK said these 72 retiring members are renowned, prominent and stalwarts. He said they are retiring from this house, but their career will see their contribution in various other fields. One of the retiring MP, Prasanna Acharya, said that Parliament is a leading witness of great movement. He said during his term, he witnessed the passing of several historic bills. He said democracy means both majority and minority. He added that the opposition gives vibration to democratic bodies.
Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari today informed the Lok Sabha that there were more than 10 lakh registered electric vehicles in India as of March the 13th this year. Replying to questions, Mr. Gadkari said,
as on 13th March 2022 is 10,95,746. Total 1,742 public charging stations already शुरू हो गए as per our Bureau of Energy Efficiency. इसमें काफी बढ़ोतरी हुई है. ये ओवरऑल सेल्स में 162% हुआ इस साल. 2 व्हीलर में 423%, 3 व्हीलर में 75%, 4 व्हीलर में 238% और बसेस में 1250% सेल में इंक्रीज हुआ है.
The minister said under the scheme for faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicles in the country, 2,877 public EV charging stations have been sanctioned in 68 cities. Mr. Gadkari also informed action plans have been prepared by BEE for 8 cities with 4 million plus population, namely Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Chennai, Kolkata, Surat and Pune. Talking about alternative fuel, Mr. Gadkari said,
Within 2 years, the cost of electric 2-wheeler, electric 3-wheeler, electric 4-wheeler will be equivalent to the petrol cost of the petrol vehicle and the country will change. Our VR policy is import substitute, cost effective, pollution free and indigenous. Sir, because of petrol and diesel we are facing crucial problems already we see. So this is the only alternative by which going on alternative fuel, that is green hydrogen, electricity, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-LNG and bio-CNG. We will work on that direction.
Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia informed the Lok Sabha that domestic players are operating 1,465 flights, while international players are operating 1,783 flights since the government opted to resume international flights at full strength. In response to a question on transferring the capacity accorded to the now shut Kingfisher Airlines and Jet Airways for operating international flights from Mumbai, the Civil Aviation Minister said the operational logistics have been transferred to other domestic airlines.
The airlines have effected a schedule to commence 135 new domestic routes in the summer schedule 2022 with effect from the 27th of this month. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia said that Airport Authority of India has awarded 948 valid routes to selected airline operators across the country. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia today informed the Lok Sabha that to date there are 18 remote pilot training centres licensed by the Directorate General of Civil Aviation. In response to a question by Kadapa MP Y.S. Avinash Reddy, Mr. Scindia said number of pilots for drone operations and training centres to facilitate the same would go up in the coming years.
There are, as of today, as I mentioned, 18 remote pilot training organizations that have got authorization from DGCA. 1 in Gujarat, 4 in Haryana, 1 in Himachal Pradesh, 1 in Jharkhand, 1 in Karnataka, 1 in Madhya Pradesh, 4 in Maharashtra, 2 in Telangana, 1 in Tamil Nadu and 2 in Uttar Pradesh. But this list is going to be expanded very rapidly.
The minister said drones offer tremendous benefits to almost all sectors of the economy, and these include agriculture, vaccine delivery, search and rescue, mapping and law enforcement, to name a few.
The centre, in partnership with states, is implementing Jal Jeevan Mission to provide tap water supply to every rural household of the country, including those in tribal areas, by 2024. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, the Minister of State for Jal Shakti, Prahlad Singh Patel, said, according to states, out of 212,19,000 rural households in scheduled tribes-dominated areas, 82,84,000 rural households have been provided with tap water connections to date. Congress leader Sonia Gandhi today raised concerns regarding recurrent reduction in budget allocation to Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act or Manrega. During zero hour in the Lok Sabha, she said this has resulted in lower work opportunities and deprivation of timely payments to the workers. She said budget allocation this year to Manrega is 35% lower compared to the previous year, even as unemployment is on the rise. Ms. Gandhi said that as on March the 26th, several states have put forth negative balance in their Manrega accounts. She added that records stated that a sum of 5,000 crore rupees is due to workers under the scheme.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur today said the erstwhile UPA government did not spend the entire allocated budget for Manrega.
2013-14 तक तो यूपीए की सरकार के समय जो बजट होता था उतना भी खर्च नहीं होता था, लेकिन आपदा के समय मोदी जी की सरकार ने 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा का बजट का प्रावधान करके दिया था। मोदी जी की सरकार ने 1,11,000 करोड़ रुपया एक ही साल में दिया। इनके समय कभी नहीं हुआ। इनके समय केवल भ्रष्टाचार के आंकड़े जो मंत्री थे उनके भी क्षेत्र में आते थे। हमने जियो टैगिंग की शुरुआत भी की और इस पे कार्रवाई करने का काम भी किया। आज बटन दबाने से मनरेगा के कर्मचारियों के खाते में पैसा जाता है।
Union Minister Giriraj Singh told the Lok Sabha that Manrega allocation rose from 33,000 crore rupees in 2013-14 to 1 lakh crore and subsequently 1.12 lakh crores during the Prime Minister Modi's regime. Congress members raised objection to the reply of the Union ministers.
India's forest cover has witnessed an overall increase of 1,540 square kilometers at the national level. This was stated by Environment Minister Bhupendra Yadav in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha today while quoting India's State of Forest Report ISFR 2021. This increase is in comparison to the previous assessment of ISFR 2019. Mr. Yadav said the forest cover has increased by 5,516 square kilometers in the country during the last two forest cover assessments. He said the forest cover in Rajasthan is 16,655 square kilometers, showing an increase of 25 square kilometers as compared to ISFR 2019. The government today said some Pakistani nationals belonging to minority communities, mainly Hindus and Sikhs, have not returned to their country in recent years because of religious persecution. These pilgrims came to India on a group pilgrim visa. This was stated by Minister of State for External Affairs V. Muralidharan in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha. He informed around 17,000 Indian pilgrims have visited Pakistan in the last 5 years, while over 2,000 Pakistani pilgrims have visited India. He said pilgrims visiting between the two countries are covered under bilateral protocols on visit to religious shrines 1974.
The Congress today held demonstration at Vijay Chowk protesting against the fuel price hike. Speaking to reporters, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi said in the last 10 days, petrol and diesel prices have been increased 9 times. Mr. Gandhi demanded that the rising prices be brought under control. Congress party is holding nationwide protests on this issue today. In Assam, polling has begun in the State Assembly premises for the 2 Rajya Sabha seats. The BJP has fielded Pabitra Margarita for the first seat, while its ally, United People's Party Liberal, has given ticket to Rangora Narzari. On the other hand, Congress has fielded its own candidate Ripun Bora. Our correspondent reports that Pabitra Margarita is likely to win easily on the first seat, while there would be a contest for the second seat between Rangora Narzari and Ripun Bora. Counting of votes will be held this evening.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with students, teachers and parents all over the world in the 5th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha program tomorrow at the Talkatoora Stadium in New Delhi. It is a much-awaited annual event in which the Prime Minister responds to questions related to examination stress by students in his uniquely engaging style in a live program. Students, teachers and parents who will get to ask questions to the Prime Minister have been shortlisted on the basis of an online creative writing competition on a bouquet of themes. Over 15 lakh students, teachers and parents have registered for the event. Our correspondent reports that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the 4th edition was held online in April last year.
Pariksha Pe Charcha is an interactive program wherein students, parents and teachers from India and overseas interact with the Prime Minister. They discuss and overcome the stress emerging out of examinations in order to celebrate life as a festival. School students of class 9 to 12, teachers and parents are selected through an online competition for the program. Due to COVID restrictions, only 1,000 students of Delhi NCR, Uttar Pradesh and Haryana have been invited to attend the program at Talkatora Stadium. For the first time, selected students will attend the event at Raj Bhavans of all states and union territories. With Dipendra Kumar, Anupam Mishra, AIR News, Delhi.
The Pariksha Pe Charcha program will be telecast live on Doordarshan, that is DD National, DD News, DD India, radio channels, TV channels and other digital platforms of the Government of India. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has appealed to all the students, teachers and parents to participate in Pariksha Pe Charcha tomorrow.
Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry has approved the construction of 2,42,000 houses in 6 states under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. These states are Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tripura, Tamil Nadu and West Bengal. The approval was given in the 60th meeting of the Central Sanctioning and Monitoring Committee held in New Delhi. Over 184 crore 6 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. Health Ministry said over 22,27,000 doses were administered yesterday. The recovery rate is currently at 98.76%. Over 1,200 new cases were recorded in the last 24 hours. 28 deaths were reported in last 24 hours.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Rajya Sabha bids farewell to 72 retiring members. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges members to use their experience in the interest of the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with students, teachers and parents in the 5th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha program tomorrow in New Delhi. More than 10 lakh registered electric vehicles in India as of March the 13th this year, informs Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari in Lok Sabha. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to hold discussions with his UK counterpart Elizabeth Truss on bilateral, regional and global issues of mutual interest this evening. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov to arrive in New Delhi on a 2-day visit to India this evening. Ayush Ministry invites nominations for Prime Minister's Yoga Awards 2022. Indian paddlers Manika Batra and Archana Kamath settled for bronze medal in women's doubles at WTT Star Contender in Doha. And in IPL cricket, Chennai Super Kings to take on Lucknow Super Giants at Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai this evening. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. UK Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs Elizabeth Truss arrived in New Delhi today. During the day-long visit, Ms. Truss will hold bilateral consultations with External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar in the evening on bilateral, regional and global issues of mutual interest. She will also participate in the inaugural edition of the India-UK Strategic Futures Forum, a Track 1.5 dialogue between the two countries hosted by the Indian Council of World Affairs and Policy Exchange, UK. Ministry of External Affairs said the India-UK relationship was elevated to a comprehensive strategic partnership during the India-UK virtual summit held between the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his British counterpart Boris Johnson on 4th of May last year. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will arrive in New Delhi today on a 2-day visit to India. The key focus is expected to be discussions on a payment of system for New Delhi's procurement of oil and military hardware from Moscow. It will be the highest level visit from Russia to India after Moscow launched its military operations in Ukraine on the 24th of February. Mr. Lavrov will arrive in India after completing a 2-day visit to China.
The 20th edition of the bilateral naval exercise between Indian and French navies, Varun, is being conducted in the Arabian Sea till the 3rd of April. The Defence Ministry said various units including ships, submarines, maritime, patrol aircraft, fighter aircraft and helicopters of the two navies are participating in the exercise. The Ayush Ministry has invited nominations for Prime Minister's Yoga Awards 2022. The winners will be announced on the International Day of Yoga on the 21st of June this year. The application process of awards is being hosted on the MyGov platform.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
And religious Reformation movement, Prarthana Samaj or Prayer Society, was founded on the 31st of March 1867 in Bombay. It was guided by R.G. Bhandarkar, a noted Sanskrit scholar, Atmaram Pandurang, Narayan Chandavarkar and Mahadev Govind Ranade. The main reformers were the intellectuals who advocated reforms of the social system of the Hindus. The movement was spread to South India by Telugu reformer Veer
Prarthana Samaj critically examined the relations between contemporary, social and cultural systems and religious beliefs and gave priority to social reform as compared with the political changes already initiated by the British government. The two main planks of the Samaj were worship and social reforms.
Ranade was a revivalist who pointed out that most of the prevailing evil customs ran counter to the practices observed in earlier times. Two other champions of social reform with him were Dhondu Keshav Karve and Vishnu Shastri. Ranade and Karve launched the widow remarriage movement and started Widows' Home Association to provide education to widows. In no other part of India did the social reform movement work so successfully and create so profound an influence as in Maharashtra under the auspices of the Prarthana Samaj.
We remember freedom fighter Chima Sahib, who was arrested by the British authorities on the 31st of March 1858, son of Maharaja Bhau Sahib, ruler of the Kolhapur state. Chima Sahib was one of the prime movers of the uprisings in 1857 in the Kolhapur state during the First War of India's independence.
During the First War of Independence, he held secret talks with the leaders of the 27th Native Infantry Regiment of the English East India Company Army and also made secret overtures to a few Indian princes and independence leaders. He received emissaries from Nana Sahib Peshwa, and as a token of comradeship in arms, a silver-handled sword was sent to him from the Lucknow Darbar. He succeeded in rallying a large number of independence activists in Kolhapur, which posed a serious threat to the British in the region. The British authorities arrested him and sent him to Bombay, from where he was deported to Karachi. He was detained in Karachi for 11 years till his death on the 15th of May 1869. We salute the great freedom fighter.
We also remember martyr Nadir Shah, who participated in the first war of Indian independence in Gujarat. He was captured and sentenced to imprisonment for life with labor in irons on the 31st of March 1858. He was transported to the Andaman Islands in March 1859 and he died there in detention on the 12th of April 1859. We salute the great son of the soil.
We also remember Indian National Army member D. James. Initially a member of the British Indian Army in Malaya, James joined the Indian National Army in 1942 and served as Lance Naik. He fought the British forces on several occasions and died in action in Myanmar on the 31st of March 1944. We salute the great martyr. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
In Pakistan, the no-confidence motion against Prime Minister Imran Khan will be discussed in the National Assembly during the lower house session today, which is scheduled to start at 4 p.m. The NA Secretariat last night issued the order of the day for today with discussion on the no-trust move against the Premier on the session's agenda. Despite escalating tensions between the United States and Russia over Ukraine crisis, a NASA astronaut caught a Russian ride back to Earth yesterday after a U.S. record of 355 days at the International Space Station. Mark Van Hey landed in a Soyuz capsule in Kazakhstan alongside the Russian space agencies Pyotr Dobrov and Anton Shakaplerov. Before departing the space station, Mr. Shakaplerov said, "People have problem on Earth, but on orbit we are one crew."
On to sports. In the second semi-final of the ICC Women's World Cup, England beat South Africa by 137 runs at Christchurch today to enter the finals. Yesterday, Australia defeated West Indies in the first semi-final at Wellington to cruise into the finals. The final match will be played at Christchurch on Sunday. Indian paddler Monica Batra and her partner Archana Kamath settled for a bronze medal at the WTT Star Contender Doha, Qatar 2022 after losing to Chinese Taipei's Li Huijun and Cheng He-Xing in the women's doubles semi-finals in Doha yesterday. In IPL cricket, Chennai Super Kings will take on Lucknow Super Giants at Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai this evening. Last night, Royal Challengers Bangalore defeated Kolkata Knight Riders by 3 wickets at the D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai. The Sensex and the Nifty today witnessed marginal losses in the afternoon trade. Sensex fell 53 points to trade at 58,631. The Nifty also slipped 17 points to trade at 17,482.
Now let us take a look at the weather update of the day. National capital Delhi is experiencing a heat wave. Mumbai is expected to have a clear sky. Chennai is likely to have a partly cloudy sky. Kolkata is likely to have a partly cloudy sky. Srinagar is expected to have clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. And Jammu is expected to have a clear sky. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Rajya Sabha bids farewell to 72 retiring members. Prime Minister Narendra Modi urges members to use their experience in the interest of the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to interact with students, teachers and parents in the 5th edition of Pariksha Pe Charcha program tomorrow in New Delhi. More than 10 lakh registered electric vehicles in India as of March 13 this year, informs Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari in Lok Sabha. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to hold discussion with his UK counterpart Elizabeth Truss on bilateral, regional and global issues of mutual interest this evening. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov to arrive in New Delhi on a 2-day visit to India this evening. Ayush Ministry invites nominations for Prime Minister's Yoga Awards 2022. Indian paddlers Manika Batra and Archana Kamath settle for bronze medal in women's doubles at WTT Star Contender in Doha. And in IPL cricket, Chennai Super Kings to take on Lucknow Super Giants at Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.